Thank you very much for joining me. How you been? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Back. Steve Renazizi. I'm the guy. I'm the guy. Fucking lit. I'm the guy. Steve Renazizi.
Bingo, we're on. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the podcast. What's the odds? Steve Renazizi, Brenton Lucas Hurl, September 29th, 2022, the last podcast in September. So lot to cover, not a lot of time to get through it. We got a tremendous hurricane down in Florida. We have the fact that we won our bets last weekend. We have the fact that you guys lost and the Giants lost. Aaron Judge broke a home run record, and the Yankees clinched a playoff spot. So where do we want to start? You guys choose. I'll let you guys decide.
Well, I mean, Aaron Judge is having a great season, but he broke a Yankees record, Steve.
What?
And his season's been historic. He broke a Yankees record.
He broke an American League record, dude. The American League record, which, by the way, is the real league. It's the one that everybody, it's
okay, but he's still in sixth place for a season.
What?
If you put him next to Bonds and
okay. Yep.
McGuire and Sosa and McGuire again.
Yep. So, all right. So anyone who has not been brought in front of Congress to testify and lied on behalf of those people.
Look, those are I'm cheering for the Yankees.
That's the record.
I'm cheering for Judge. He's having a historic season, but let's not go crazy with, we don't know if he's juicing or not. I guess we'll find out as his career goes along.
First of all, I guess I can't disagree with you. We don't know 100% if he's juicing or not, but I think the fact that he came into the league 6'7" and massive, and he's only gotten a little bit bigger, much stronger, probably because of just, eating right and having fucking money. And he's just become a much better hitter, a much more selective hitter. And he's very powerful, and he has a huge uppercut sort of swing. And so that's why he's doing what he's doing. But he's not just doing it like hitting home runs and striking out every other. Like, he's cut down on strikeouts. They're walking him a ton. And even in this period for the last 7 games where he didn't get the home run, he still batted over 300, hit the ball hard, and plays amazing defense. So he's having an historic year.
Yes.
Beyond any measure of comparison. Historic.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not taking that away. He's going to win the Triple Crown.
He's going to be the person considered widely as the home run king. He will be.
Not after 1 year.
No, after the next home run he hits. So whenever that happens, tonight, tomorrow night, I'm going to watch it in a little bit. Oh, I think they're off tonight, actually.
Yeah, they're off tonight.
So, yeah, it's going to be he's going to have the home run record. It's his now. I mean, people will always argue, and he even said it's Barry Bonds' record, but
it is Barry Bonds' record.
You have to think about, yes, of course, and I don't even think they should take it away. I mean, Roger Maris' son said that it should be, that baseball should look at it. Baseball's not going to look at it. Baseball doesn't want to. They want to move on. They're happy Aaron Judge has this record going on right now, but the last thing they want to do is talk about, the steroid era. They want to move on from that.
Yeah.
So I think that they will embrace Aaron Judge, and to me, it's like it is he's doing something that, like, triple crowns are few and far between, and in this day and age, for a guy to hit 60+ home runs and possibly lead his league in batting average, that's remarkable. And like I said, Shohei Ohtani is going to be in the MVP race every single year and could probably win it. He's like Michael Jordan, where you could have given the MVP to him every single year. But now, because you have an historic season happening, not just a triple crown, but a record-breaking season, a record that stood for 61 years, now you have to say to yourself, well, okay, this is something that's, generational. We gotta respect this. So, yeah, I'm happy he did it last night for 2 reasons. Number one, it's within 154 games, so it's like you can't even put an asterisk next to it, like they did to Maris. So he did it in the same time frame that Babe Ruth did it in. Number one, and number two, I felt terrible for Aaron Judge's mom and Roger Maris's son. I mean, they've been sitting together for 7 baseball games in a row.
Which, by the way, I know
You know
we've
how
talked
much
about like the greatest jobs in sports. The greatest job in sports is officially Roger Maris's son. The guy just gets to go and sit on the baseline anytime someone hits a bunch of home runs just because his dad did 60 years ago. It's a pretty good gig. He's done
well,
nothing and he
nobody
still gets
really
to
wants to be
show up.
reminded all the time of their dead dad. You know, I mean, I'm sure it's like a thing where, right, Rogue? I know. So nobody wants to, but I'm thinking he seems like a very quiet person who probably beyond this is very like, you wouldn't even know he was Roger Maris' son. So the last thing he wants is a camera pointing on him, just like same thing with Aaron Judge and Aaron Judge's mom. But the two of them have been sitting together in a baseball stadium for 7 games in a row. Okay. What do what? I mean, there's nothing left to talk about. They can possibly talk about anything. Like, I can't sit next to, I've gone to all these, my son's travel baseball games. I can't talk to the parents anymore. I sit in my car and watch Dahmer in the parking lot during the pregame warmup. Okay. So I feel terrible. I'm happy that, they probably slapped high five and
You
will
get
never
all
speak
amped
again.
up, and then you take all your frustration, all the graphic shit that you just watched out on the other team's parents and the poor
Dude,
umpire that misses
it's
one minor call. And you're like,
well,
I'm
you know
going
what
to
it is?
chop you up and I'm going to eat you and I'm going to feed you to my family.
It's the hour drop off for warm-ups. I'm like, I can only small talk for the 2 hours of the baseball game. I can't sit there and do the hour of nothing going on small talk. Okay. So now I sit in the car and I watch Dahmer on Netflix. And I have to position the car in a very specific spot because it's a very graphic show. And, the Tesla's got a pretty decent sized screen. So,
Yeah.
it's sort of not for public consumption, but, it's like a little bit bigger than it being on an airplane. So the point is, the small talk thing, I feel terrible. I felt bad for Aaron Judge's mom, who probably never met Roger Maris' son. But I thought, honestly, wouldn't it be great if, like, in 3 weeks from now, Roger Maris, you find out Aaron Judge left Aaron Judge's mom left his father for Roger Maris. Like, maybe they formed like some sort of beautiful love in his last 7 days. And now it's like they can't, they just love each other. Like they fell in love in a Toronto hotel room and now they can't be apart. I think that would be beautiful. The record and the fact that he broke his parents up with Roger Maris' son. That's something that that's a twist to it. The ESPN documentary that I would like to see. So, if you're asking me the question, is this the record? Yes, it's the record. And I'm happy he did it.
It's the Yankee record.
By the way,
yeah.
Speaking of Yankee records, Garrett Cole set a record last night too. Most strikeouts for a Yankee in a season, 248. So 2 records were set last night. The guy that tried to hit it or try to catch it, there was a Toronto fan and a Yankee fan, both leaning over. I don't know if you saw the replay to get the ball. And both of those fucking idiots missed it. And you could tell, like, for the first second, they were like, and then you realize, like, they cut to them later on, like, the sheer, like, oh my God, like, if I had caught that ball, that's like could be 7 digits.
Yeah.
In my pocket.
Life-changing money. Or at the very least, you get a signed bat and jersey and tickets to another game. At the very, bottom, at the very least. You could be the most generous person and go, here you go, you can have it, Aaron. And you're so set for life.
To have Aaron Judge indebted to you would probably be better than, especially if you're a Yankee fan. Now, here's the deal. I'll give him the ball back, right? For nothing. But he's got to re-sign with the Yankees. Okay? If I'm not going to fucking San Francisco to watch him in a Giants uniform. I don't need to be indebted to someone that lives 3,000 miles away from me. And I'm sure as fuck not going to go to Queens and watch him in a Mets uniform. So you get the ball back, but it comes with the caveat that you now have to sign on the fucking dotted line. Look, you work the numbers out, and I'll let you and Cashman figure that out for yourselves. But, that's how you're getting the ball back. If you're going to another place, well, speak to my lawyer. That seems fair, right? If you're a Yankee fan?
Yeah, you can have the ball back as soon as you re-sign your contract. Once the ink dries, the ball's yours.
The guy that caught it was it's a Toronto. He was like the
bullpen coach. Yeah. Because there was a big thing on Twitter that his wife, who's like a Fox Sports broadcaster, was going to leave him because he just gave the ball to Aaron.
Well, first of all, it's not when it goes into the bullpens, it's not like only balls that go into the stands are public property. The bullpens and stuff, like those are employees of the teams and shit. So yeah, you can, I mean, I'm sure like could have been anyone in there. Like could have been a guy walking by, could have been a fucking kid that, works. It's like those guys have to give the balls back. There's no like, oh, I don't know, like if he did a fucking switcheroo, that's on him. I don't know if you want to admit that. But yeah, you got to give that thing back. And I'm sure Aaron Judge probably was like, hey, thanks a lot. Maybe buy him, whatever, who gives a fuck. But yeah, the guys in the stands, those guys should have tried it, like to really, you got to jump.
Yeah.
I'm jumping, dude. What's the worst that happens? You break your leg. I'm getting that ball. And once I get it, even if I broke my legs, I'm shoving it up my ass. Take me to the hospital. No one touched the ball. It's up my ass.
Just eat it.
Yeah. Like you have to put that inside you. It's like a lottery ticket. You have to consume it.
Yeah.
You can't mess around at that point. You have to have it on your possession at all times. It's like, you ever been in an ambulance, like all of a sudden your wallet's gone and you pass out, your cash is gone. Look, we're all, first responders, and thank you for your service, but some of them are not above board. So I'm shoving that ball up my ass.
Is that a thing that's happened?
What?
I've never heard of
people
that.
EMTs robbing you?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Have you heard of that, Lucas?
No, never.
Oh, please, dude.
This just sounds like Tracy's got you watching too many like weird documentaries.
Nope.
I've never heard of that before.
Are you kidding me right now?
I'm not kidding you.
Okay. They have to go through your wallet, right? To get your, like, who is this guy? But you're shot, you're losing blood, right? Who is this guy? Oh my God. All right. Well, one guy's working on him in the ambulance. The other guy's going through his wallet to figure out who he is. Does he have insurance? Is he allergic to anything? But next thing you know, there's $400 in there. And bing, bang, boom. Now there's $200 in there. And before you know it, this guy, 3 days later, he comes back to life. Everyone's a hero for saving him. Thank God. He looks, there's still cash in there. I can't remember. I had 400, 200, but this guy made $200. Now, if that guy died, what good is that $400 going to do that guy? But 200's now living on with the EMT. Don't you understand how life works, Brenton?
That's never been a thing that I've seen reported or recorded.
Hello?
I think you're
You're
making stuff up
right
yeah,
now?
you're
I'm
making
not
that up. You're a
well,
storyteller.
Okay,
You're
I am
telling a story.
Okay, I am a storyteller.
It is a fun story, but I've never heard of that. I've never heard of anyone suing or complaining or accusing an EMT of stealing.
Look it up. Look it up. I guarantee you within the time frame of this podcast, we can find an article about an EMT robbing people in an ambulance. Look, my point is this. You have to have that ball on your possession.
Yeah, absolutely.
Otherwise, it's no longer yours. But you have to make a bigger effort for it than like, ooh, I almost got it. Give me a break, dude. This is history.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Hempel would have dove and jumped for that ball. You would have been arrested, maybe. Okay, but you're not taking the ball off my, you're not taking the ball off my possession. That's my ball. Right? That's what I think. Possession's 9/10 of the law. Now, I don't know what Canadian laws could be different up there. That's where they were.
Would you have given the ball back, or would you have sought money?
Did you not listen to the last 10 minutes of him talking about how his whole life would change? He's keeping the ball, and he's getting the highest amount of money possible.
I did just find an article about an EMT stealing a Queen's patient's credit card. So,
thank you.
I'm just saying.
A Queen's patient?
Queens, New York. And I mean, look, maybe it's a local thing.
I was like, wait, sure someone who works for the Queen got robbed by an EMT?
No. I'm
telling
you it happens.
It's a New York thing because you're all scummy. Mm-hmm. You're all shady dudes.
Look, watch your mouth because one day you may be in an ambulance in fucking New York. So
now I know not to carry cash.
Exactly, dude. Don't fuck around here, bro. And I didn't make that shit up. And I've never done that, but I
got a cousin. I'm not saying anything. Like that. He's an EMT, but I'm not saying nothing.
Whatever. You make your own decisions. What about all right, so do you want to do the Bills or the Giants first? Or do you want to do the Hurricanes first?
I mean, what do you?
Yeah.
I hope everyone in Florida is okay. I don't. What are you so excited to
Yeah.
talk about this hurricane for? Is
I
it the
heard
fact that
hundreds were dead.
sharks are swimming in the streets of Florida right now?
Well, I want to know if my Port Charlotte date's going to be canceled in 2 weeks. What's 3 weeks?
I mean,
That's the
Tampa's still planning to hold a Sunday night football game.
Yeah,
So.
Tampa seems like it made it through okay. Thank God.
Because I'm hearing like I want to know the tone of this thing. Like I'm hearing like hundreds of people are guaranteed to be dead, which is pretty bad. And then I just saw the news, but it's like 8 people are dead. 8 people die in Florida in the water like every day. So I know destruction and stuff like that, but like, is it as bad as what? Like, I feel like we're getting over dramatized news here. Am I right or am I wrong?
Well, that's the news. It's always going to be over dramatized. I would say if you're gonna look up stuff and see how it really is, probably either go to Twitter or
I'm not on Twitter. I told you.
just make
I
a
lost
burner
my
account.
password.
Make a burner account. Make it a password that you're never gonna forget.
Too late for that.
Have Tracy make up a password that she's not going to forget, and then whenever you forget it, just ask her and she'll tell you what it is.
No, I do want. I mean, like, look, it looks pretty terrible, and I do know the areas where it landed, and Naples and Fort Myers, and those beautiful areas. I talked to Steve Simone real quickly, so I would, I checked in with family. But what my only thing is like, are you guys hearing like the same sort of like catastrophic? This is like, and this isn't Katrina, right?
No, I don't think it's as bad as Katrina.
No. And I don't know why, like, I don't know how you get such like conflicting, like hundreds of people versus like 9 people. So, again, thoughts and prayers and all that good stuff. And, Florida's fucking, it's the little penis off the bottom there. It gets fucked like this every year. So, do the best you can and let me know, Port Charlotte, how things are going down there. You got electricity? Someone from Port Charlotte, let me know what the vibe is down there. I don't want to be coming and slinging knock jokes when people aren't having it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. Bills or Giants? You guys choose because I got shit to say on both of them. So
Well, yeah, I was very proud of how the Bills played. By the end of that game, between the guys who were ruled out before the game started and in-game injuries, we were out 20 out of our 53 players, and they still. I mean, they dominated in everything but the scoreboard. They dominated time of possession, yards, first down, all the stats. The second team defense basically shut down Tua and his offense. I was not happy with the fact that Engram took a kick at Josh Allen's nuts. That wasn't called. Wilkins grabbed his junk, and then Josh got called for ripping his helmet off. That wasn't called. And then the situation with Tua, obviously, that didn't look like a back or an ankle injury to me.
yeah, dude.
And
I mean, and how is he playing tonight?
I don't know. I think we're gonna see how bad he really is hurt. They're investigating. Obviously, the Players Association is investigating the concussion protocols in Miami. And this is the same organization that got in big trouble for doing the shady stuff with Brady, trying to sign him in the offseason illegally. So wouldn't put it past them to do something to make sure Tua gets back out there, because obviously they're not winning that game if Bridgewater comes in and he's the quarterback in the second half. And, the fact that the Bills were down so many players, even like the way Miami has their stadium set up with the awnings, so the Miami side is constantly in shade and the visitor side isn't, and the field temperature is like 102 degrees or something. So everyone on the Bills side is cramping up. That's gamesmanship. I respect it. But literally at some point, someone is going to die on the field of heat exhaustion, and they're going to be responsible for that.
Truly a hot take right there, Brendan.
If it was me, I would do the exact same thing, but it is a lot more extreme than painting your the visiting locker room pink like in Iowa, as a psychological thing. When you're exposing players to extreme conditions like that, and they're only going to get more extreme over time as the world continues to slowly heat up, someone is going to die, and it is going to be on them because that's how they have the stadium set up.
So you're blaming global warming for the Bills' loss on
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll take it. Look, number one, I was really impressed by the way you kind of predicted the fact that there could be some sort of letdown. I was surprised that their offense wasn't as sharp as it usually is. It wasn't as high scoring, but again, he had some weapons missing.
Well, keep in mind, we were on our third string center by the end of the game, our practice squad guy.
Yeah.
Who was elevated because Morse was out. Then we lost our then backup center. And you had guys cramping. You had McKenzie, Knox, and Diggs all in and out of rotation because they were cramping. And then we lost Kumaro because of the ankle injury. And by the way, there was a hit on Knox, a helmet to helmet that wasn't called, that should have been called, and that would have affected stuff. But having the third string center, there were two different times where there were bad exchanges. The one was at the end of the first half. Allen kind of fumbled it, and by rule, he can't just then spike it. He has to, it's intentional grounding. If he does, then he fumbles the snap. So he had to do that. So they couldn't kick the field goal there. And then there was another instance where he fumbled the snap and just had to lay down on it. And I think they settled for a field goal on that drive instead of, they basically lose it down inside the 10-yard line of Miami. So there were some execution issues. He had McKenzie for the game-winning touchdown, and he just bounced it to him. They had the opportunity there. I hated Leslie Frazier's call to, I think it was 3rd and 22. They had just sacked Tua, and they just blitzed 3 to drop an extra man back, and they put him in zone, and then Waddle found a huge hole in the zone, and that went for like 40 yards. I think that was the biggest play Miami had all game.
That was terrible.
It was a bad call. Just put the pressure on Tua. Keep putting the pressure. Your strength is in your front. Your strength is not in your back. You got all these rookies and backups covering the 2 fastest receivers in football. Put your 4 guys up on the line and get them in there and knock Tua's ass down. Or at least put pressure on him, because the guy underthrows. If he doesn't have time, he's not like the most accurate deep ball passer. And then I hated the call, Ken Dorsey's call on 3rd and goal with about a minute 15, whatever it was, on that drive before the butt punt.
We got to get to the
2-yard line. You're at the 2-yard line. If you score a touchdown, you're giving the ball back to Miami with a lot of time. And this team with this banged up defense going up against this high powered offense, you're giving them over a minute, and I think they might have had a timeout or two. That's plenty of time for Miami. They opt to throw the ball on 3rd and goal from the 2 with a 240-pound quarterback and, decent running backs. I don't understand why they don't run the ball in that situation, knowing they're going to go for it on 4th down if they don't get in, and they run another 40 seconds off the clock. So it was just, bad play calling on both sides. The fact that we were beat up, it's no excuse. Miami won the game, but if I showed you everything but the score, all the stats looking down the page, you would go, oh, Buffalo killed them by 30 points. Absolutely. Time of possession was like 40 to 20. Yards were like 570 to like 240 or something. It was insane how much they dominated, despite the fact that they were out so many players on both sides. And I can't wait till December. That December game, it's on my birthday. They're going to get healthy, and they're going to absolutely destroy the Dolphins, who now have, go to Miami Twitter. Steve, get back on Twitter. Go to the Dolphins, fans Twitter. They thought they won the Super Bowl. That was the greatest thing ever. This was a week 3 game. Buffalo's going to be fine. And our friend Kirk pointed out, you don't want to go 17-0. You're just going to have every week more pressure, more cameras. This is fine. They lost this game. You saw how upset Allen was. He made a comment about Ken Dorsey and his meltdown, saying, I like seeing that, because you show me someone who's happy losing, and I'll show you a loser. So these guys are fired up. They're still a Super Bowl caliber team. They're going to get healthy, and they're going to be scary now, because now they're mad. All you did was wake a sleeping giant. These guys are pissed off.
I think that you're right in the they are mad. I think it really angered Josh Allen. I think he blames himself. There was a lot of execution stuff you pointed out. The end of the game was sloppy.
Yeah.
Ken Dorsey's fucking that was great. I love the fact that, slamming shit, throwing shit. I like to see stuff like that. I like to see pure, unadulterated anger manifest itself in smashing things. Because that makes me feel human. The butt punt was remarkable. I think that the fact that like two things happened that erased a lot. The butt fumble was like so huge for many years, and it's still bigger than the butt punt. But the fact that the butt punt happened really took a lot of heat off Mark Sanchez. Dan Orlovsky got a lot of heat off of him this weekend because I think it was who's Jimmy Garoppolo. Somebody fucking stepped back. Was it Garoppolo?
Yeah.
Stepped back
Garoppolo.
confidently and just fucking dropped a pass in there, but his back foot was well out of bounds. So Dan Orlovsky got off the hook a little bit. The butt punt, I want to know, like, did it hit taint and or bridge? Because like that could be aggressive. Like that, like I didn't see the guy.
I don't think it did because
crumble.
he didn't crumble like it killed him. But honestly, that's another situation where Miami got so lucky. If that punt goes a few inches one way or the other, it maybe doesn't bounce out of the end zone and the Bills fall on it, and there's the game there.
Dude, if it goes a few inches one way or the other, it goes directly into the man's asshole.
Well, if it goes into his asshole, that's a touchdown.
That would be game over.
So all these toilet paper and wipe brands reached out to the guy and are offering him endorsement deals because of the butt punt.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's cool.
He's going to make some money,
cash out of it.
He made a mistake. I mean, he was the one who backed into his kicker, and he's going to make a bunch of money off it.
Do you think? Well, we'll get to our picks later on because I think the Dolphins have it coming to them tonight. That's my opinion. But do you think that the Dolphins, like this win does not do you think they can take the conference because of this win? Does this win at the end of the season cost you guys the grand scheme of thing of the AFC
no,
East?
This win in week 3 makes it a little more difficult for the Bills, but this is week 3, not week 14. So yeah, it definitely helps the Dolphins, who I think are definitely a playoff caliber team and will make it in. And they obviously have the leg up in the division, but I still don't think they have enough to contend with the Bills and to go through 17 games and have a better record at the end of it.
I don't know if I should do this segue now into the Giants or do it at the end, but let's just say the Giants, the loss to the Cowboys is going to hurt more than the Bills loss to the Dolphins. I think.
Absolutely.
I think the Cowboys somewhere down the line will end up, that loss at home, especially at home, will end up biting us in the ass. Now, I was disappointed in the fact they didn't win the game. I was happy that their defense seemed to be able in the first half to stop the big play and avoid the touchdown. The offense to me looked okay. Daniel Jones looked very rushed, and it didn't even look like Micah Parsons was he's always part of the problem, but it didn't look like he was Lawrence was horrible. Like he had 3 sacks in the first half. So Evan Neal was getting eaten up alive, and it looked like whatever protection they were calling up, that either Saquon or somebody was missing the block, the chip that they were going to get on him. So he was a nightmare. Daniel Jones got sacked or got hurried more or rushed more, or I don't know, whatever the stat is, more than anyone ever has since they started this fucking stat. So it was another example of not being able to have a little bit of time to let a play develop.
Yep.
That being said, the fact they came back in the second half and were able to manufacture a drive and get Saquon Barkley the ball and have him score a touchdown. What I'm most impressed with Daniel Jones is he doesn't get, I mean, this could be dumb person sort of mentality, but like, and I don't think he's dumb, but he doesn't give a fuck about his body. Like 3rd and 7, he looks, and it's almost like I'm going to get it myself. And he doesn't die. He goes for that first down. He's not sliding out of the way. He's not like, well, we'll get close enough. He is always getting that first down, and he kept drives alive with his feet. That was I was like, okay, this guy is a two-way quarterback.
Mhm.
Can we give this man some time? I don't want him running fucking all the time. I don't want him leading the team in fucking, rushing yards. I love the fact that they came back in the second half, took the lead. Now, did we miss, Leonard Williams being in the middle? It was a tremendous loss. We could not rush the passer, Cooper Rush, and we could not stop the run. I mean, on those in the fourth quarter, it's like they were putting these drives together. All we had to do is stop them one time. Couldn't stop them. First down. So overall, I'm a little disappointed. I really expected us to win. I'm happy that it was a competitive game and that we were close. I do think it's going to end up biting us in the ass. We're doing the best we can with the little bit of talent we have. We don't have talent everywhere. I can't wait to see Kayvon Thibodeau with another week of health and practice under his belt. But I know we're not making the Super Bowl. Okay, this is not our team to make.
Wait,
the
you're
Super Bowl.
not?
No. I don't even know if we're going to make the playoffs. Okay, it looks like we probably will end up being the third place team in this fucking division. The Cowboys probably will end up coming. Maybe we'll go head to head with them. But the Eagles are going to be fucking a tough team.
The Eagles are the best team. They're going to win that division.
Yeah.
The Cowboys,
So,
I think it's still, again, it's too early. It's still up in the air. The Cowboys could have a colossal meltdown, and you have a much better coach than they do.
yeah.
And Daniel Jones, the reason why he's given up his body is he's playing for his career. He has no guarantee that he's going to have a job next year. So he's going to go balls out. The line isn't giving him time. He doesn't have healthy receivers. Sterling Shepard, really feel for him that the fact that he works back from an Achilles injury and now goes down for the year with an ACL, it sucks.
I know.
But hopefully,
And Kenny Galladay's like useless at this point because he comes in, complains he doesn't get the ball, comes in, drops the fucking ball. Made a big third down catch, but which was great. But you're paying the guy $20 million a year, so yeah, all right, great. Third down, move the fucking chains. But the big plays, the big situations, the Plexico Burris, the fucking, even the Manningham, throw the ball up, stick it on your fucking head, and fall down on like that. He's not that guy.
No,
we don't have that guy. We don't have him. So here's what I'm saying. Tie these two subjects together. The fact that we're not making the Super Bowl or maybe even the playoffs this year. And the fact that Saquon is having a great comeback year, right? Mm-hmm. And it's the shit or get off the pot year for this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a market to trade him to a team like, let's say, the Buffalo Bills, who could really use a Saquon Barkley?
That was a rumor over the weekend. I think I told you that yesterday, Lucas, at Disneyland, that he's potentially, and we were talking about what the Bills would have to give up to get him. And Lucas thought a second-round pick. I don't think that's possible. I think you'd want more than that. And you're about to say, give us Josh Allen.
No, I would say yes. I would say give us Josh Allen. But I mean, here's what's going around New York, just so that because this is a trade rumor I've heard too. New York is expecting to hear like a 4th round pick back. Because what you're essentially, giving up is like, yes, he is, but like he is guy that you have to re-sign next year. So you only get him for the playoffs.
Yeah.
He was a 1st round pick, so you're not going to give up a 1st round pick for a 1st round pick, even though he is Saquon Barkley, but he's been hurt. So, and you're probably not going to get, you want a 2nd or 3rd. You really want a 2nd. You probably settle on a 3rd, but I bet you'd be offered a 4th round pick. And to me, that's not enough. And so, but
there's a lot of familiarity in those two offices.
Is it a thing where, you can come to the middle on something like that? Because look, I as much as I would want Saquon Barkley and a John, what's the best case scenario? They franchise tag him next year, and they got to pay him $14 million for a running back in his 56th year. Now, if he's got a monster year in him this year, but if I was saying like Daniel Jones is the guy and Saquon is obviously can be the guy, but like you're going to have to probably get him a new quarterback next year. So it's going to be the same fucking situation. And you don't want to sign him to a 2 or 3 year, a 3-year deal. So what are you going to get him, a 2-year? So to me, I'm like, why not try to get something for him now? I know it's probably not the most popular thing, but it's like it might be the most practical at this point.
And
Is that what
a big thing that Buffalo needs is they need to establish a running game, which they haven't really done except in the blowout against the Titans in the fourth quarter with all the second stringers in.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
so if they were to get Saquon, that would be a massive upgrade. And then that offense that's already, I think, the second highest scoring offense, maybe the third in the league right now, they would be even scarier. You wouldn't be
if
able
you notice,
to do
he's not
anything
like,
against them.
He's going north and south this year.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's just going to try to rip around a corner and get past everybody. He's a guy that you could probably give the ball to in the fourth quarter. I mean, he's not Derrick Henry, but he's a guy that you can give the ball to 2 or 3 times in a possession and get a couple yards each time, so you don't have to rush Josh Allen, or you don't have to have him bootleg outside, or even drop back for another pass. If you guys have a division wrapped up and you're 13-2 or something like that, or you really want Josh Allen throwing the ball 50 fucking times?
No. Well, throwing 50 times, no, but it's better than him running 20 times.
No, but out of those 20, 6 of them, I'd rather him turn around and hand the ball off to a fucking, a very good
18 of them,
back.
I'd rather him turn around and hand off to a running back. He's running too much.
Yeah.
He's taking too many hits, and he got a little dinged on Sunday. So I would rather him not run at all unless he absolutely has to, or it's a designed run against a good defense to do it against.
Yeah, I'm like, as much as I don't want to lose the guy who's everyone, whose jerseys probably sells the most on the Giants, it's like, you got to do what you got to do at this point, because we don't have the team.
But also, if DeBold decides that he wants to build around Daniel Jones, you can't sign a running back to a huge contract and continue to build around Jones. You got to just get rid of him, get what you can, and rebuild from the bottom up and put a team around this guy. Because like we were talking all last year, Daniel Jones, it's hard to gauge if he's the guy because he has no weapons around him, and this sucks. And here we are again, where he has less than 2 seconds to throw the ball and no receiver. He's like, Richie James is now your number 1 receiver. That's insane.
I know.
That was a practice squad guy for San Francisco last year. So
yeah,
it sucks. And Daniel Jones could be insanely talented, but we might not find out because he just fell into a horrible situation and never was able to get opportunities.
That being said, I think the Giants are going to beat the Bears this weekend.
They should.
So
it's the lowest point total too. It's like 39.5.
Oh, it's going to be a rough game. And by the way, can the NFL please stop putting the NFC East on prime time? Yeah. Thursday's fine, but my God, is it bad football?
What's the NFC? What's the primetime game?
Well, you guys were Monday Night Football, and that was a horrible, horrible game.
It wasn't horrible.
It was so slow. It was so sloppy.
Oh my God, the Bills game was slow and sloppy.
The Bills game was not slow and sloppy.
The Tampa Packers game was slow.
Yeah, that was. But that also
game.
wasn't. That wasn't a prime.
That
time
was
game.
national. That was
I'm surprised that it wasn't prime time.
Well, yeah. I know, me too. Tom must have had something to do at night.
I mean, if you're a casual fan of the NFL, you're not going, oh man, I cannot wait to get off work and go home and watch Cooper Rush and Daniel Jones.
Dude, it's the Cowboys and the Giants, dude. It's America's team.
Neither team has been good in a while.
The Giants were 2-0. What are you kidding me? We're the talk of the town.
And how's everyone feeling now?
Frustrated. Not frustrated. Not frustrated. I take that back. Not frustrated. A little disappointed, but let's see now how we can turn a page. It's a new thing. Let's see how they react. Okay. Let's see. It's not like we're going up against the fucking Rams or a real oh fuck, we're never gonna get our asses handed to it. Like going to a team that we should beat. Let's see how a little bit of adversity, how you deal with it. Let's see how they respond.
Is the game in Chicago?
I think it's in New York.
Is-
I think. Let me
Well,
look.
let's hope that
They were the
nobody
bottom
gets
team.
hurt because
Um,
Chicago's
It's
field
in
is
New
not
York. It's in New
okay.
York.
Good, because Chicago's field is not the greatest to play on, and you don't want to
yeah.
have another
That's a
Saquon
dump.
injury before you get rid of him.
Let's get to some pick. We won last week, everyone.
We did
Lucas,
win.
how do you feel?
Pretty sweet.
Rich?
I mean, I always feel rich.
I'll tell you
All
what.
right, buddy.
Yeah.
I told
I'm
you
glad-
I
what?
guaranteed it that Aaron Rodgers would beat Tom Brady. I told you the guy does not move in the pocket anymore. He literally just lays down. It is hilarious to see. As soon as it collapses, he just goes to bed. And the Packers did everything they could to lose that game, and they still didn't lose. So you're welcome. And ready to
I
keep
do
the
have to
streak
say,
going.
I was impressed, Brenton. Nicely done. I didn't think
the
that they would.
ballsiest pick out of all the picks. You guys are betting against the Jets and betting against the Lions. Congratulations. Balls of steel from you two. I went up against the GOAT and took him down.
The GOAT. You said baby, like he lays there like a toddler.
Yeah, he's like a
Ready
little
for a
baby.
nap.
He's Benjamin buttoning his career. He's taking naps every time someone touches him.
I am impressed that you were right about that. Congratulations. Did you see at the end of the game or the end when he couldn't get the playoff and they had to move back 5 yards on the 2-point conversion?
Yeah.
He was yelling, "You have to call timeout." They had no timeouts. So like I wonder if he is he distracted at all? Like there's a little bit like I know he's like, the guy that's like infamous like for knowing everything and being all aware of, but like there are times when he looks now like a little bit like And what was the thing that Rodgers picked out off the Jumbotron?
I think it was regarding the play clock, wasn't it?
Let's see. I know he said it on Pat McAfee.
Because Brady, the play that they had set up for the 2-point conversion when it was on the 2-yard line was the perfect call and it would have converted. But they blew it. I think the touchdown. I think Rodgers was complaining that the touchdown was also delay a game, and then the 2-point conversion they got called for the delay a game. So it's just like Tampa Bay needs to figure out how to get the play in faster and get it done because they were probably a good 1.5, 2 seconds with the zeros on the board, and they still no call, and they scored the touchdown. So I think that's what he was complaining about, but I could be wrong unless Lucas, you see something else.
No, it doesn't really say. He still hasn't.
But regardless, Packers won, we won, and no one got arrested at Disneyland.
Oh, really?
So it was a good week.
Yeah.
But Lucas over here, he had to hit the stall about 14 times. The guy, I guess he poops more than anyone I know. And then the toilet would flush multiple times, and then we'd see smoke coming up over the stall. So that was interesting.
My man. Yeah, sometimes you got to take that smoke dump, dude.
Yeah.
That's
You
not
never
a
heard of
thing
a
that
smoke
happens
dump?
at Disneyland, and that's not what
It
he
does,
was doing
dude.
yesterday. We
It
were
does.
on our best behavior, and we did
I
a great
took
job. And
mushrooms and
Disney
went on
was great. They were
multiple-
great hosts. We love them very much in this house, and we thank them for the 35% discount I got on all the merch.
I saw some pretty fucked up pictures of Josh Martin, dude. He looked like he had a pretty wild time.
He got motion sickness pretty good.
Good. Yeah, that would be my one concern on mushrooms is the motion sickness.
Oh, that was fun.
I like to go at my own sort of pace. I like to and if I don't want something, like I walk away from it. If I'm trapped on a ride that's spinning around or doing something fucking twisty, I might lose my fucking shit, bro.
Yeah.
Did anything like that happen?
He left the line a few times to go because he thought he was going to throw up. But no, he roughed it out. First time there, he didn't know what any of the rides were, didn't know what he was getting into. Tower of Terror, I think that one was, well, I guess it's Guardians of the Galaxy now, but that one was pretty rough for him. Like we're sitting next to each other and he kept grabbing my arm every time it would drop. So,
Good.
He did good though. He got his button. He was very happy.
Let's get to some picks before you guys got to get out of here.
Okay.
Brenton, your fucking big balls and your unbelievable pick last week. Why don't you start us off? Who do you got this week?
All right. Well, I'm going to stay aggressive, I think.
Oh,
And
really?
I mean, I think Kansas City and Tampa Bay are going to shoot out, but I think Kansas City has a little bit more, and I will take them. They are a pick 'em right now. And that will be Sunday night in Tampa.
Yeah.
Obviously, the players in Tampa have a lot of distractions. Kansas City is going to figure out they start a little slow, but you know what? They had a little rough patch last year, if you remember, where people were like, oh, what's going on with Mahomes? They're going to figure it out. He's going to start throwing to his receivers. Somebody on that team is going to become the guy, and they're going to be just fine. They're too good of a team, too much talent there. Whereas I think Tampa's going in the other direction, and I think anyone who watched Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers is going, okay, those guys are probably pretty much past their prime. That was kind of sad to watch. Neither one of them looked good.
I like that pick. I don't know how you like it too, Lucas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Kansas City's going to win by a couple, 3 points, 7 points, something like that.
Yeah, and they're giving me it as a pick 'em. Give me that all day.
And I'm not saying that it's over for Tampa, but Tampa's not the team that everyone. Everyone's like, oh, Tampa and the Rams. To me, they're not the. I think the Eagles right now are head and shoulders above everybody else in the NFC. I think the Eagles. You put Eagles against. I mean, when they start to play tougher teams, you put Eagles against Tampa right now. I'm taking the Eagles all day long, no matter where that fucking game is.
Jalen Hurts looks like the real deal.
Lucas, do you want to go, or do you want me to go?
Yeah, give me the Lions over the Seahawks.
Yeah.
-4.
I'm telling you right now, this is we're all on the same page here because that I've picked 3 games. You picked the one, you picked the other one. I don't even know if I can get my game in. I like Cincinnati. I like Cincinnati to win tonight. Not to, I mean, you want to give
the only thing that
3
makes
points?
me nervous is my heart wants Cincinnati to win so much.
Yeah.
That I think Miami is going to play a lot better than we think they are. Granted, their defense was on the field for 90 plays 4 days ago in 100-degree heat. So they're probably exhausted. But
4 days ago,
Cincinnati,
their quarterback, he got his eggs scrambled, dude.
Cincinnati has not.
The Waddle's questionable.
Though.
Everybody's questionable.
Burrow's holding the ball too long. Their offensive line, all these new additions haven't done anything. If you want to take this, I believe in you. You're usually. I don't even
know if we can get it in.
We can. What do you mean?
Can we?
We have 13 and a half minutes to put it in. We're recording this on Thursday. It's 5:01 p.m. We've 13 minutes and 30 seconds. You want to go with Cincinnati?
I mean, yes, I was gonna hold on. It was one other game I was looking at. I was gonna pull it up. You guys decide between the two. Well,
you know what one I like that's sneaky, but it's also very aggressive is I like Houston to cover those points because the Chargers just put Bosa on IR, so he's out at least 4 weeks. So that defense is decimated. You got Herbert who's hurt, and the Jaguars.
And Houston plays decent at home.
Houston's played decent everywhere so far this year, and the Jaguars just absolutely kicked them in the nuts.
I know.
Keenan Allen is still not 100%. Yeah, the Jaguars, it might be legit this year. We all slept on the Jaguars.
They're not going to beat the Eagles, but
the Jaguars they're an AFC team, but they might.
Wait, how do you say it, by the way?
Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Yeah.
Jaguar.
Yeah, Jaguars. Jaguars.
What the fuck, dude? That's some Buffalo fucking Lake Erie.
Hey man, I eat turkey parm and I say Jaguar.
Jaguar. Jack off wire. Look.
Yeah, but the Texans are getting 5 points at home.
No, I want the goddamn Bengals. Give me the Bengals.
Okay, I got the Bengals.
Get them in there now.
But where's the Jacksonville game? Why is it not on here? Why does BetDSI not have it? Oh, here we go. So the Jags in Philly.
It's 6.5 plus 6.5.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah, that feels like a trap.
Yeah. Give me Cincinnati.
Okay. So we got Kansas City as a pick 'em. We got Detroit -4, and we've got Cincinnati -4. So we are going to risk $50, and that is going to yield us $297.90.
Let's get another goddamn win on the books, guys. Come on.
And that's locked in. We're good. We beat it by 10 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be in Sacramento, California in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from tonight, as a matter of fact. Sacramento Punchline. And the weekend after that, hopefully I'll be in Port Charlotte, Florida. Let me know, Visanis. I'm hoping you guys are doing all right down there and everything's all the people are safe. So that's what I got going on. SteveRennazizi.com for tickets. I got dates in November. I just added Addison, Texas. I think the second weekend in November. So that's up on my website too. And New Year's, Louisville, Chicago, Davenport, Iowa, the casino. So I'm all over the place. So SteveRennazizi.com for tickets. You guys have anything to plug?
I'm at the store tonight, 9 o'clock. This gets out at time, but
It's not going to get out in time.
Never a chance. Not even a chance.
Lucas had a great set Thursday night at the store.
Killed as usual. That's the podcast for this week. Thank you guys for listening. Let people know. We appreciate you telling people about it, and we'll check you guys next week.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Thank you very much for joining me. How you been? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Steve Renazizi. I'm the guy